With the 2022 NFL season in the books, it's time for us to hand out our final report cards for each of the first-round picks from last year's NFL draft. Some rookies met or exceeded expectations, while some played well below their potential. It's only 1 year, though, and there's plenty of time for each of them to get better. With that said, let's dive into our official final grades for all 32 NFL first-round draft picks of 2022. Number 1, Trayvon Walker, B. The Jacksonville Jaguars banked on Walker's high upside and supreme athleticism. As expected, they saw some flashes, but some mistakes as well. This was always going to be a learning year for Walker, but there's a lot to like. He had 3.5 sacks, 2 pass defenses, and 1 interception. Walker generated 21 QB pressures, a sign that his sack total should have been higher, but regardless, he helped improve the Jaguars' defense and led them to a stunning AFC South Division title. And it feels like we haven't seen the best of him quite yet. Number 2, Aiden Hutchinson, A+. Hutchinson lived up to his billing as the best prospect entering the 2022 draft. The Michigan product racked up 9.5 sacks, 3 interceptions, a trio of pass defenses, and a whopping 30 QB pressures. Leading the Detroit Lions to their first winning season since 2017 was only the start. Number 3, Derek Stingley Jr., C. Stingley Jr. missed 8 games, so it's unfair to criticize him too much for an uneven rookie year. Stingley didn't allow a single TD in coverage, but Pro Football Focus had him down for a grade of 49.1, and according to Pro Football Reference, Stingley yielded a 63.0 completion percentage when targeted. He's got nowhere to go but up, though. We still love his skill set and expect him to be in the conversation for the NFL's best corner within a couple of years. Number 4, Sauce Gardner, A+. Gardner did it all for the New York Jets, shutting down opposing teams' top wideouts while recording 2 interceptions and a league-leading 20 pass defenses. PFF also had his coverage grade down at 90.2, which they noted was their best grade for a rookie outside corner in 17 years. Don't ask us what he can do for an encore. We're pretty sure year 1 was just the first of many All-Pro seasons that lie ahead. Number 5, Kavon Thibodeaux, B+. Thibodeaux wasn't going to totally jump off the page in year 1, but he did better than many naysayers expected. Thibodeaux had 5 pass defenses, 2 forced fumbles, and 18 quarterback pressures. His efforts helped the New York Giants make a surprise playoff appearance, and to think that better days are still ahead for the Oregon product. Number 6, Ikumi, C+. Ikumi made too many rookie mistakes with 13 penalties and 6 sacks surrendered per PFF. But he showed plenty of promise and looks like a long-term cornerstone piece on that Panthers O-line. He had a PFF grade of 65.3 on the season, and Carolina's rushing game remained a force even after the Christian McCaffrey trade. Ikumi and the improved O-line were a key factor for that, so expect him to only improve from here on out. Number 7, Evan Neal, D-. Tough rookie season for Neal, but in his defense, it was easy to overlook his struggles thanks to Andrew Thomas's monster year. PFF graded him at 44.0 with 7 sacks allowed and 7 penalties committed. Offensive linemen tend to struggle more as rookies than any other position. The Giants can only hope that he'll learn from his mistakes and take major strides going forward. Kinda like what Andrew Thomas did after a tough rookie season in 2020. Number 8, Drake London, B+. With Kyle Pitts missing 7 games, London stepped in and emerged as the Falcons' lead pass catcher. He finished with 72 receptions for 866 yards and 4 touchdowns, helping Atlanta fall just 1 game short of the NFC South Division crown. London's stat line is especially amazing when you consider that Marcus Mariota and rookie Desmond Ridder were his quarterbacks. What can we say? London and Pitts will be quite the pass-catching tandem for years to come. Number 9, Charles Cross, B+. Cross also had his fair share of struggles on the offensive line, but he and fellow rookie Abe Lucas were pivotal in the Seattle Seahawks' rapid turnaround. Cross committed 7 penalties and allowed as many sacks, but his upside is just too promising to ignore, and there is little doubt on our end that he'll be a Pro Bowler in short time. Number 10, Garrett Wilson, A+. Wilson won Offensive Rookie of the Year honors after racking up 83 receptions for 1,103 yards and 4 touchdowns. An absolute gem of a pickup here by the Jets. Now they just need to get a competent quarterback to throw him the ball. Number 11, Chris Olave, A. Olave was one of the few bright spots in a disappointing year for the New Orleans Saints. The Ohio State product racked up 72 receptions for 1,042 yards and 4 touchdowns, giving New Orleans a long-term building block on offense. Number 12, Jameson Williams, D. Williams was limited to 6 games as he recovered from surgery on his torn ACL. His first career reception was a 41-yard touchdown. Only issue? That was his only catch all season long. We have little doubt that Williams will be a big-time weapon in this Lions offense for years to come, but just 1 catch in 6 games? I'm sure Lions fans would have liked to see more from the former Alabama star. Number 13, Jordan Davis, B+. Davis played 26% of the Philadelphia Eagles' defensive snaps. Not his fault, that front 7 was just way too loaded, as evidenced by their 70 sacks on the season and all. PFF had Davis down for a solid grade of 71.4 on the year. He did well in a very limited role in his rookie season. Now the Eagles must get him ready for an expanded role in 2023. Number 14, Kyle Hamilton, B+. Hamilton always felt like the perfect fit in Baltimore, and he was just that in 2022. The so-called unicorn was a game wrecker in Mike McDonald's defense, recording 5 pass defenses and 2 sacks. Hamilton excelled in covering against slot receivers and tight ends, adding much-needed versatility to Baltimore's secondary. Lo and behold, the Ravens won 10 games and snuck back into the postseason. Number 15, Kenyan Green, F. Just a forgettable year all around for Green. PFF graded him at a woeful 37.7 on the year. He took 12 penalties and allowed 4 sacks and 823 offensive snaps. That just cannot happen. The good news is, it was only his rookie year. But if Green doesn't show notable improvement early and often in year 2, the new Texans coaching staff may not feel inclined to keep him around much longer. Number 16, Jahan Dotson, C+. Dotson missed 5 games but showed signs of stardom on a Washington Commanders team that played musical chairs at quarterback once again. Dotson hauled in 35 receptions for 523 yards and 7 touchdowns. If Washington can just find a capable starting solution under center, Dotson and Terry McLaurin could soon emerge as one of football's elite pass-catching duos. Number 17, Zion Johnson, C+. 2021 rookie standout Rashawn Slater missed all but 3 games in 2022, but Johnson performed mostly well at guard and prevented the Los Angeles Chargers O-line from completely falling apart. Johnson excelled in the run-blocking game, which somewhat made up for his struggles in pass protection. Johnson, Slater, and veteran mainstay Corey Linsley give the Chargers a very promising long-term outlook on that O-line. Number 18, Trailon Burks, D-. I still don't understand why the Titans would trade away their best receiver in A.J. Brown. How could former GM John Robinson actually believe that rookie Trailon Burks would just replace his production like that? I guess that explains why he's now the former GM of the Titans. Either way, in 11 games, Burks caught 33 passes for 444 yards and 1 touchdown. The Titans' struggles in the passing game were a key reason for their 7 straight losses to end the season. Number 19, Trevor Penning, C+. Penning missed all but 6 games because of a foot injury, but his play on the field was all around solid, and Saints fans should be excited to see what he can do in year 2. Penning played 124 snaps and allowed 0 sacks while grading out at a 73.6 on the year from PFF. Yes, trading up for Penning with Philly cost New Orleans the number 10 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, but if Penning comes as advertised in 2023, the Saints will have no regrets whatsoever. Number 20, Kenny Pickett, B. Pickett got better as the 2022 season went along. Though he had a solid 63.0 completion percentage, Pickett averaged just under 200 yards per game and had just 7 touchdowns against 9 interceptions. But hey, the Pittsburgh Steelers went 7-5 in games Pickett started. His connection with George Pickens down the stretch especially stood out. If Pittsburgh can just upgrade that offensive line, Pickett could make the jump to Pro Bowl caliber in no time. Number 21, Trent McDuffie, B+. The Kansas City Chiefs secondary enjoyed quite the turnaround in 2023, and McDuffie was a big reason why. The Washington product flourished in his 11 games, recording 7 pass defenses. Per Pro Football Reference, he allowed just 52.9% of passes to be completed when he was targeted. McDuffie and the retooled Kansas City defense helped the team to a Super Bowl 57 championship. Now we just wait and see what McDuffie can do for an encore. Number 22, Quay Walker, C+. Costly penalties and missed tackles overshadowed an otherwise solid rookie year from Walker. Stats don't do him justice. He had 1.5 sacks, 7 pass defenses, and 3 forced fumbles. A simple look at his film highlights will give you a much better understanding of what Walker brings to the table. He is a do-it-all workhorse with the ideal combination of size, speed, and athleticism. Expect a monster sophomore year for the Georgia product. Number 23, Kaiir Elam, C. Suffice to say, the Buffalo Bills expected better from Elam. They needed better from him with all those injuries in the secondary too. But Elam didn't exactly stand out in his rookie year. He played 57% of the team's defensive snaps and had a PFF grade of just 56.7. Elam allowed a 70.2 completion percentage when targeted. Number 24, Tyler Smith, B+. The Dallas Cowboys O-line didn't miss a beat, even without future Hall of Famer Tyron Smith for most of the season. Rookie Tyler Smith's superb play on the O-line was a key reason why. Smith's run-blocking dominance helped Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott power that offense yet again. Yes, he allowed 6 sacks and committed 13 penalties, but again, those miscues are expected from a rookie. The good largely outweighed the bad for Smith as a rookie, and he's only gonna get better. Number 25, Tyler Linderbaum, A. Linderbaum was a beast at center for the Baltimore Ravens. The Iowa product was PFF's 4th best graded run-blocking center for the year, and he allowed just 3 sacks on 1,092 offensive snaps. No team drafts and develops better than the Ravens. Linderbaum and Hamilton are the latest examples of that. Number 26, Jermaine Johnson II, B. The Jets' 3rd first-round selection played just 34% of the team's defensive snaps, so it's hard to fully evaluate him. Johnson was a solid rotational pass rusher in Robert Saleh's defense, recording 2.5 sacks and 6 QB pressures. Without a doubt, he'll stand out more in 2023 with an expanded role on defense. Number 27, Devin Lloyd, C-. Lloyd's stat line looks good on paper: 3 picks, 8 pass defenses, and 2 fumble recoveries. But Lloyd was quite the liability in coverage, allowing 77.2% of passes in his direction to be completed. Lloyd also allowed 4 touchdowns in coverage and earned a PFF grade of 48.3. There's plenty of room for improvement, alright, but at least he made some big-time plays for that Jaguars D when needed. Number 28, Devontae Wyatt, D-. Wyatt barely played more than a fifth of the Green Bay Packers' defensive snaps in 2022. Why draft a guy who you know you're barely gonna use? Wyatt was meh in the limited action that we did see. He failed to stand out, and seeing how much the Packers' passing game struggled, it sure would have been wise to draft a wide receiver here instead. It's up to Wyatt to prove the critics wrong in year 2, but it's gonna be tough. Number 29, Cole Strange, C+. This was a highly scrutinized pick at the time, but Strange's rookie year had more pros than cons. And like his fellow 2022 draft mates, there is still room for improvement. He did allow 5 sacks and committed 6 penalties, but Strange wasn't asked to be a star right away. This was always going to be a learning year. But Bill Belichick and company have to be happy with what they've seen thus far. Number 30, George Karlaftis, B. Karlaftis was ineffective in the first half of the season, but he was virtually unblockable in the second half. He racked up 5.5 sacks over the Chiefs' final 7 regular season games, and he continued that strong run into the postseason. Karlaftis had 1 sack in the Chiefs' 3 postseason games, forming a scary pass-rushing trio alongside Chris Jones and Frank Clark. Good luck to opposing offensive linemen who have to deal with these 3 guys going forward. Number 31, Daxton Hill, D. Hill played just 14% of the Cincinnati Bengals' defensive snaps, so it's hard to really evaluate him here. He was mostly used on special teams, playing on 42% of the unit's snaps. He didn't exactly stand out when he was on the field, but with Jesse Bates helping Atlanta from free agency, Hill will get the chance to step in as one of the team's starting safeties in 2023. Number 32, Lewis Cine, C. Cine unfortunately suffered a season-ending leg injury in Week 4 against the Saints, so it's kinda hard to evaluate him here. He played just 2 defensive snaps and 34 snaps on special teams before his season-ending injury. There's just not really much to go on here. But it's also hard to grade Cine any lower because of the very little action he saw before his injury. The Minnesota Vikings need to prepare Cine for an expanded role in 2023 as they look to remake their secondary. But who do you think was the best rookie of the 2022 class? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. But hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.